When your heart is racing at the speed of light.
See how much power I'm at. The vehicle load's still in. There you go, 29%. 7 a.m. So I thought I'd give a little power update. 62% battery. So remember at the start I was 67%. I had the fridge running for about 3 hours from the car when I was out on the canoe. I had the car on that whole 3 hours. I've cooked a lasagna in the oven for about half an hour. I also used the microwave for a few times. So in that whole time I've used 5% of my battery. Alright, camp day. So I'm just going to leave home now. But I just wanted to show you guys. I'm full. 100% battery. 100% fuel range. It says here that I've got 800 kilometers it reckons. Heating, running the canoe. I'm going to show you exactly how much power this is going to use the whole time. First thing I need to make sure though is when I go, I check my state of charge. See, it's actually off at the moment. So I got to put it on and I'll put it all the way up to 70%. Again, the other way to do that is you click down here. Comes up there, you go energy, state of charge. So car's currently 100%. State of charge is 70%. So when I get to campsite, I know that's going to drop from 100 down to 70 because it's going to use some of that when I'm driving in HEV mode, which I got to make sure I'm in. At the moment, I'm in EV mode, which you can see up there. This little green bit here. So I'll come down here. I'm going to put it from EV to HEV. Done. Now that's in HEV mode. So hybrid electric vehicle, which means when I get to camp, it's going to be at 70%. So it'll still use the first 30% to drive there. And yeah, let's see how much it actually uses when we get to camp. Alright, so we've just rocked up to camp. I'm in mud mode actually, because it's a bit boggy around here. So it says 542 kilometers left. The percentage is 68%. I think it used 2% of the battery while I was here in mud mode, just trying to find the right spot. And 488 kilometers of fuel left. So past 50 kilometers. So what I noticed is the first 30 kilometers of driving, it was 100% electric for the first 30 kilometers. And then after that, it was in hybrid and it pretty much stayed around 70% the whole time. So it's essentially running fuel that whole time. The last 50 kilometers, it used 9.2 liters of fuel per 100. But on the freeway, when I was going about 110, it was using around 11.5 liters per 100. I thought I'd give a little power update. We're at 62% battery. Oh, I actually had this screen on accidentally. I was meant to be on like that. 62% battery. So remember at the start I was 67%. I had the fridge running for about 3 hours from the car when I was out on the canoe. And I had the car on that whole 3 hours. I've cooked a lasagna in the oven for about half an hour. I also used the microwave for a few times. So in that whole time I've used 5% of my battery. And now I'll turn it off because I don't need the car until I go to bed for the heat up. Okay, so it is 9:35 p.m. and we're at 62%. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to turn on my heater now. I've just turned on my vehicle to load plug. I'll turn my heater on now and we'll see how much power this uses overnight. Well, the heater is on low power. Thought I'll just show you. The discharge power is 1 kilowatt. Okay. So the heat is probably using about 800 and a little bit watts, and the inverter is using 175-ish watts. So 1 kilowatt hour, it's 9:40 p.m. at night. So by 6 a.m. we should use, what's that? 10 to 6, 6, 7, 8. We should use 8 kilowatts overnight. Let's see what happens. All right, it's morning. It's rained a bit overnight. Let's see how much power I'm at. The vehicle to load's still in. There you go, 29%. It's 7 a.m. So I had it on at 9:30 last night. I put it on. It's a 24-hour timer, so it's been on for 10 hours. 11 and a half hours, and it's gone from 63% down to 29%. I'm going to unplug it now because it's morning. And again, like I said, the inverter uses power on standby. So I'll unplug that now. Don't need it anymore. So you can hear the AC/DC charger that's charging the 12-volt battery for my fridge in the back there from the car. The car reckons it's using 1 kilowatt to do that. So we'll see what that equates to. So 1 kilowatt for the car to charge that battery, the 12-volt battery at 30 amps, which means it will charge it completely full. It will use 3 kilowatts of power. Okay, so I've had breakfast, had dinner last night. It's gone down to 24% the battery. And I'm waiting for the generator to kick in. Now the generator hasn't kicked in, which is surprising. And I'm wondering it's only if the V2L is plugged in. So I'm gonna plug in the V2L at 24% and see if the car starts. Okay. V2L's on. Discharging at 1.4 kilowatts. And the generator hasn't kicked in. I've got my toast on. V2L's plugged in, so the tent's got lights. The heater is there. The heater's not on at the moment. So the generator has just kicked in, as you can hear. 20%. So when the battery went down to 20%, the car turned on to start charging. Now I don't need it on, so I'm going to unplug this. As soon as I unplug that, generator stopped. Which is interesting because the V2L is off, but this is still on, actually. The tub power, because the car is actually still on, but it's not using the generator. So I'm all packed up, ready to go. We arrived here last night at 67% battery. Right now it is at 18%. Now the car didn't kick in, the V2L kicked in at 20%, and then as soon as I unplugged that, even though the car was on, the engine turned off. And then I had the engine off and it went down to 18%. I'm not sure how much more it would have gone down with all the tub power still on. My 12-volt battery is back up to 100%. I used that all night for the fridge. I used it yesterday for a 3-hour canoe ride, and that's already 100%. So this battery is pretty much drained, but it'll charge up to 70% if I have that on the SoC by the time I get home. And that's how much battery it uses in one trip. Alright, so I've just got back. It says 285 kilometers left. And when I left, when I started, I was at 100% battery and 700 kilometers of fuel. And it was saying my range was 800 kilometers. And I've driven all up just over 300 kilometers. It was 150 there, 150 back pretty much. So I used 300 kilometers instead of 800. It should be at 500. So it's at 285 and there's a 200 kilometer discrepancy there. And so, yeah, back at 25%, which is the lowest SOC you can have. And that's how much fuel I used.